in the first part of my studio makeover from my studio series. My name is Laetitia Miéral, I'm a paper magician and I post on my channel all sorts of videos about paper, paper techniques, mulberry paper, fairy tale home decor, these sort of things. So if you think you might be interested, you can subscribe. And if you have already been around, I thank you very much for watching, for your support, and I feel very grateful to have you here. So this is the first part of my studio makeover. I'm going to explain you everything about it. I'm not totally finished yet, that's why you will see a second part and a studio tour with all the details of my supplies, my organization, all that. But first I need to explain a few things. So I arrived in this place in June 2017. I didn't do anything in this room. The past year was pretty hectic, pretty chaotic. I'm just back on track now, one year and a half almost later. I decided to do it now, so it took me quite some time, and with the mess I have everywhere in my home, it's also one of the reasons why I procrastinated so much. It's when you do a room, you have tons of mess everywhere, and it usually takes longer than you thought it would take. So I'm not finished yet. I was short on wallpaper. I did an order yesterday of 2 more walls and a little something I'm going to add at the top of my walls, because it's an old building, it's a very old building, and all the walls, the ceilings are not straight square, which make it very difficult to apply wallpaper. So even if you take your measurement perfectly, it just doesn't work. If you look at behind me, the wall with the door, this wall has a difference of about this side 10 centimeters between the 2 angles, even a little more. So it's very difficult when you are taking all your measures. You have some patterns, some big patterns, which make it even more challenging. It was pretty challenging to apply all that, so I have some gaps at the top, as you would have in a dollhouse. That's what we have sometimes in the dollhouse workshop. We have some little problems like that, but in a real home, you also have to find solutions. I'm not an expert in wallpaper at all. I'm not an expert in anything like that. So I have ordered a little something I'm going to hide. I'm going to try to see if it works or not. And I'm going to apply it everywhere, just under the ceiling, and see if it does the job or not, because I don't want to apply any wood piece, which I will apply at the bottom, just above the skirting board. Here it's just a little easier, but the ceiling is pretty high. And I don't have the vertigo exactly, but I'm not very comfortable at such a height to do something which require hammer and all that. So I'm going to try to see if my solution works, and you're going to see that if it works, you will see it in the makeover part 2. So another thing I need to explain to you, when I visited this home a bit more than last year in January, I think the first time I visited it was in January 2017. This home was used as a storage room by the previous lady who lived there. She had all her clothes everywhere. It was really ugly to my taste, and I thought it was such a waste with this beautiful fireplace behind me. You see, it's so pretty, and there is the little garden, which is not mine, but I can enjoy the view, which is very peaceful. The atmosphere is so peaceful here. I love this room. This is probably my favorite room of this apartment, and I thought it was such a waste to use it to store your clothes here. So it's pretty decent. It's not very big, but it's just perfect and enough for me. I've lived in a tiny space for so long. I'm used to tiny spaces, and this seemed huge to me. So I'm going to show you a bit how it looks like. is called, it's by this brand, Wallpapering. I give you that because I know usually people ask me where I buy my wallpapers, where they're coming from, all that. So I give you this information. I will link it under this video, exactly where I bought it. It's not, I'm not paid by them to say that, but it's just to help you if you want to know where it comes from. It's made in Holland, it's a paper from the Netherlands. Thing is, with this very big pattern, you have a big waist. You have 64 centimeters of the pattern. The pattern is this size. It means you can possibly have a lot of waste. That's what had been done after one day of wallpapers. Only one wall, and it's not even perfect. Here, the part which is touching the ceiling is really not perfect, but I'm going to try to improve that to make better cut. But the walls are very complicated. They are not straight at all. They are curved. They have all sorts of problems. So my elephant is already seated in the fireplace. I may have found a mirror. I'm hunting actually now for the little pieces of furniture and decor I wanted to add. I have all the things I had already. I'm just painting a few things so that they are all matching each other. You're going to see that in the next video. You can see on the other side the green paper, which really look like a hospital color to my taste, and it's very dirty now. So the green doesn't work in a studio, to my opinion, especially when you film, when you take videos, photos. It's just like in theater, green doesn't work. You look green, everything done green. I couldn't film a lot. You didn't see me filming a lot in this room this past year because it just didn't work. And now with this color, it's much darker, which is great for photos and all that. So I'm not finished yet. I still have this side of the window with the radiator, which is going to be a nice challenge. And to finish this side of the fireplace, and there are little cuts here who I can tell you are going to be annoying. They are going to be a challenge, this round thing here. And I have this side here, which is not going to be too annoying, I think. So here you can see here the ceiling, the part between the wall and the ceiling. Yes, it's not easy, so I have ordered something. We will see if it works or not. I hope it does. Here I have painted my door and I really like it. It's so pretty and clean. Just have to do the sides. Just have to add a little piece of wood to make it really clean. And to do the same also over there. So I'm going to do that this week just to finish. And to add little pieces of wood between the floor and the sketching board and the wallpaper. And to give you an idea, if you plan maybe to do some wallpapers and if you are a bit curious to see how many walls I needed and I will need to complete my studio, my room is 12 meters square and my walls are 3 meters and 10 centimeters, and I will need now 9. I had 7 and I ordered 2 more because I did some mistakes. That's the thing with wallpapers. If you are super good, an absolute expert, maybe you can do with less. But I did few mistakes, and when you do a mistake, you have a big waste. Suddenly you have a big piece of paper which goes away. So that's the reason. If you have a lot of cuts and things, strange things in your room, you will need definitely a lot, and you will have a lot of waste. So I will see you, I hope, next week with the finished result and the studio tour. I hope it's going to inspire you maybe to take care of your studio if you know you have some work to do inside. It didn't take me really too long. It's just challenging because you have some mess everywhere, but here it took me 3 days, 1 full day and a half of painting and the rest of wallpaper. Now I have to stop and I have to go back a bit to my normal life and try to be a bit organized this week with this mess all around me, because I have no idea when I will receive my order of wallpapers and my little thing to hide my problems at the top of the walls. So I hope it's not going to take too long, and I hope I'm going to show you the final result next week. Thank you very much for watching this first part of the studio makeover. It is the first of a series of videos about the studio, my supplies, organization, things like that, all sorts of things around the studio life. And I hope you are going to like this series. I will put below the reference of my wallpaper if you are interested, if you like this sort of pattern. I think if you have never done some wallpaper, this one is really nice because it's heavy. The patterns are big, so it's kind of a challenge, but if you have some problems with your walls, this sort of very thick, very heavy wallpaper will be really nice. It's going to hide and to give a sort of blurry look to all your problems. And the fact that it is totally matte, it's very different from the other wallpaper I have in my living room. You don't see too much the flaws. If you have a lot of flaws and things like that, the fact that it is totally matte, you don't see any sort of problem you may have, any pleats you may have at some points. If you have the crazy walls I have, at some moment you will have some pleats. And I think I have 1 or 2, but because it is totally matte and there is this sort of vintage look to it, you don't see it too much. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. For now, I leave you here. Thank you for your kind messages and your comments, your sweet comments. You can subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss the next videos, and you can give a thumbs up if you liked it. And I thank you very much. I will see you soon.